everybody. Thank you so much for tuning into the show today. A very happy Thursday to you all. For me, it's a bad day because I have to pay my credit card bill, and I don't have the amount of money that I'd like to put on my credit card bill. However, I saw something the other day that makes a lot of sense to me. It was maybe a homeless guy. I don't know if he was homeless, but he said something that you're not in debt to anything you don't plan on paying back, which is nice. I think that's I think that's a metaphor for life, not only finances.
If you don't plan on paying it back, you're not in debt?
You're not in debt.
Okay.
You're good, right? So yeah, that's take that with you. Take that with you for the rest of your life. That's probably something you should remember. You remember in The Irish? Did you watch The Irishman?
No.
Well, there's a scene where Al Pacino's character, Jimmy Hoffa, is saying to his son, he's like, never leave a fish in your back seat. Remember that. That's important in life because there was a fish in the back seat.
Like from the grocery store?
I don't know. In the movie, I guess they went fishing in the movie, but
Okay.
it's really just to show that he's going to get killed.
Okay.
Jimmy Hoffa, Al Pacino's character, doesn't catch on, and he's like, make sure you don't do that in life. It's important. Don't leave a fish in the back seat of your car. So, yeah, along with that piece of knowledge, take from the homeless guy, whatever you don't plan on paying back, you don't owe. So, hey. Anyway,
Some wise sayings are starting off.
yeah, we got to start off.
Fucking regular David Goggins over here.
That's right. Yeah, just the opposite. Just ferociously against doing the right thing. That's right. Rack up your credit card bills. Go into bankruptcy.
Who's going to carry the debt?
Who's going to carry the debt? Who's going to carry the eviction notices? Who's going to carry
Your mortgage.
Yeah, all that. Who's going to carry all of it? You will, buddy.
JP Morgan.
Yeah, well, they'll take it back anyway. That's the whole point of a mortgage anyway, is for them to get it back from you, along with what they loaned you in the first place. Well, anyway, let's not get too crazy here. All right, we just started. Let's not get too wild. One of our favorite franchises here in America, as far as food goes, is Subway. I remember as a kid, Subway was like, it was the option that you could go for with the family and you don't feel bad about it. Like as a kid, you don't want to feed your kids, or as a parent, most parents, maybe not now. Now it doesn't matter. Now all they feed their kids is fucking testosterone pills. Hormone pills. That's the word I was looking for. That's all they feed their kids is hormone pills. It doesn't matter if it's a Big Mac or not. This was, Subway was the place that you could go and you didn't feel bad. It was like you went to a deli. And it was like if you went to a deli where the food was 3D printed. It was like if you took out all the authenticities of a deli, right? The guy with fucking the dirty white aprons screaming, people smoking inside, old guys are drinking coffee and cussing, and you go up and you get a sandwich. That takes all that away, and now you can go to a place called Subway where they propped up a pedophile for years and years as their spokesperson. Don't you guys remember that? Don't you guys remember? We could take this down for a second. I want to talk about.
Okay.
I want to talk about Subway first. You guys remember when the worst thing in the world was when you found out that Jared Fogle was a pedophile the whole time? That's how he was losing weight. He was chasing kids. He was running around chasing kids. He didn't have enough money. Subway wasn't paying him handsomely enough to get a van.
He's cashing them with a net, like with his big fake fat pants.
yeah, exactly. Those fat pants.
Even when he throw it out and tarp a few of them.
Even when he showed it to people on TV in the commercial, there was just a bunch of kids behind it, and he was just shielding the kids with his big fat pants. But people used to look at that guy as an inspiration. Look at him. He ate at Subway every day, and he walked every day, and he's a real, whatever. But thank God to South Park for uncovering the truth about him. You remember that? Aside from the pedophilia, but
Was that the same episode where they were trying to say the chef was a pedophile?
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember, but they said that he had AIDS. He's like, I have AIDS, but everyone thought it was like the disease, but he meant like dietary AIDS, like people who helped him with nutrition and shit. But turns out the real life story is worse. Probably would have rather had him have AIDS than have him be a diddler. He's almost like that guy. What was the guy's name? For years, we were supposed to be afraid of him. He was the African warlord who was fucking with kids. It was something 2018 or something. Kobe.
Tony?
Was it Tony?
It
was like an African. I just said
it was 2012, right?
Two generic African ass names. Kofi and Toby, both from Roots, if I had to guess. Toby for sure. Coney. Was it Coney?
Jacob Coney?
Was it Coney? I think it was Coney.
I'm going to search Jacob Coney because that's what I think it is.
We were supposed to be deathly afraid of that guy, dude. I don't remember.
Yeah, Jacob Coney 2012.
Yeah. And then the guy who pushed all that ended up being a weirdo too. And he was like jerking off in front of people. And people villainized this, you know. I mean, if this guy's real, I don't know if he's a real person, but he did some pretty bad stuff, right? Is he even real? Can we look up if Jacob Coney is real, right?
The first article come up was a Guardian article, so I'm trying to find something better.
Okay, yeah. I don't even know if the guy was real. People were so
Wikipedia is pretty good.
People were so disgusted that the dude who made the documentary was a diddler who jerks off. Yeah. He was a guy who jerks off in his car publicly. That was the guy who made this. And what does it say in 2023? It said it had like 1 million views. So people watched a lot of it. People have watched, since September. 103 million.
103 million views and 1.3 million likes on the video sharing website on YouTube.
Okay. Why did they put, I don't understand the Republican and the Democrat, the donkey and the elephant. This guy was really ambitious in making this thing. He's like, we're going to get everybody together. Both sides. We can't get people in this country to see eye to eye on anything, let alone
They're overlapping. I could put it on the screen for a sec.
Let alone some African warlord that's capturing kids. We don't give a fuck about that.
They're overlapping, and it creates a dove.
Yeah,
in
of course.
The shape of symbol of peace.
One thing we can all agree on: impossible. Totally. Yeah, this guy was very ambitious. Now scroll down. Who's the guy that made it? Jason Russell. Look up that guy. Look up what he went to jail for. I'm pretty sure he did some weird shit. I think he's the one who was jerking off. Let's hope so. If not, this is a whole. Keep going. Keep going. Let's see if we can see if there's legal issues. Look at that. On March 15th, 2012, at the height of the Coney 2012 viral popularity, they detained a naked Russell for psychiatric evaluation after he had a public breakdown. Russell was hospitalized for several weeks. Statement: brief reactive psychosis and acute stress. So he was stressed and dehydrated. That's why he was running around naked.
So no diddling
in the street. No, I don't think it was diddling. I thought he was jerking off in his car or something. Maybe I'm getting the two stories conflated with him and Jared Fogle. Maybe it was Jared Fogle. Somebody was jerking off in their car, and people were upset about it.
Well, Jared had kiddie porn, right? That was his thing. He wasn't. I don't think he actually touched anyone. I think he ran a subscription based dark web child pornography thing.
Damn.
And some of the kids in it ended up being found to be they were held hostage, these kids, and being extorted and just getting fucked, and that was the videos that Jared had.
Jesus. Damn. So he's definitely on the Epstein list.
He was like the Tarantino of kiddie porn.
Yeah, right. That's hard. That's great. You did not expect a guy that, fat women saw this guy as the king. People wanted Jared Fogle to be at their speaking events or whatever. He was the guy. And then you end up finding out he's doing that. That's,
child sex tourism, whatever that is.
Oh, tourism. Yeah. That sounds like Epstein Island. How is he not? Let's type in him with Epstein as well. I feel like he's got to be connected in some way. He had to have been on there. He had to have been
Him and
fucking
Epstein?
around there. Yeah, for sure. Why not?
Do you think he was important enough to be on the island?
I mean, if he's got a how many people are starting a subscription service for kid porn? That's dedication. That's not fly by night stuff. You know, you took time. He's investing Subway's money and making this. That's what he's doing. People starting Squarespaces and whatever.
They went right from him to John Cena. They had to get rid of that stigma.
Oh, is that they ended up using? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they went right to John Cena as their spokesperson.
And they got athletes too now because they got a whole new menu and the whole thing. It's like try the whatever menu, and yeah, they got athletes and shit talking about it, which is fun too because you look at athletes as like the epitome of health. So I love seeing them do fast food commercials. That makes me smile. That makes me smile because it shows that everyone's got a price. Everybody, if you wave enough money.
He did have videos of him with underage girls too.
Whoa! So he was in the trenches.
He was balls deep.
Yeah, he was there. Damn. Well, guys, it gets worse. All right. I know it doesn't sound like it, but well, depends what you think is worse. I suppose, but the controversy around Subway today, obviously they've gotten rid of Jared and his diddling ways, but now they are one of the only, not one of the only, but one of the biggest franchises in the world that will stay in Russia. They have no desire to close down their businesses in Russia, and they have a good reason why, mainly because they don't have the power to. They're independently owned, their franchises, whatever. But I don't know if I believe that very much. Okay, let's scroll down a little bit because some of the other, it sounds like a good thing. But then you look at these other things and it's like Starbucks, Pepsi, Coca-Cola. They stopped selling their products out there. Even Stoli, people only call it Stoli anyway, but Stoli Chnaya, how do you say it? The vodka. Who gives a fuck? They changed, and that's Russian vodka. They don't even want to be a Russian vodka company. Changed their name because they want to distance themselves from being Russian. But Subway doesn't give a fuck. Subway doesn't care. See, the reason why a lot of these companies left is because they have to pay taxes in Russia, and when you pay taxes to Russians, you're pretty much helping the Russians out. Like you're funding their side of the war. And all these other places are like, no, we don't want any of this. We're going to get out. We got to be on the right side of history because when the bombs drop, everyone's going to be wondering why was Subway helping Russia fight this war? Why everyone's going to think, and people are going to think that about them, and they're going to be thanking the the other corporations that really love us, like Starbucks. Starbucks said, no, we're not going to keep our business here in Russia. We're not going to do this. Subway's like,
Russia's like, boo-hoo, no Starbucks?
Yeah. I can't do a Russian.
That was German.
Yeah. What's a Russian accent? It's hard.
Subway. I love Subway. I love going to Subway.
Starbucks. How do you say Starbucks in a Russian accent?
Starbucks.
Nah, that's Irish.
Starbucks. That's like fucking Liverpool. A Scouser. Starbucks. But yeah, I could just imagine a bunch of Russians in the cold and the dark and the damp because that's all Russia is. It's just cold misery. It's just sadness at every turn. It's dark everywhere, even in the daytime, and cloudy. It's like one of those neighborhoods growing up that every time you drive through it as a kid, it's never nice. It's never a nice day in some neighborhoods. You remember that? Do you ever grow up like going to certain like maybe there's a grocery store somewhere that you don't normally go to, and the area is kind of shitty and it's always cloudy there? Or at least it feels that way. There's a place, my sister lives there in Massachusetts. It's called Fall River, Massachusetts. And every time I'm there, it's a pretty like hood place. And every time I'm there, it's just cloudy all the time. It's always shitty. Now imagine Russia being that way. And then you see Ivan leaving his job at the steel plant, and he's like,
I could use a tuna sub from Subway on Italian herbs and cheese, toasted. I love when my friend Stefania is making the
It's starting to
sandwiches.
sound a little Joey Diaz. This.
Yeah, right.
that's actually the voice I do for my dad. My dad, my dad's the impression I do of my dad at this point is like just a generic foreign guy that could be almost anything. Like my dad's Portuguese, and
So just a hint of European, and it's
yeah,
there.
I love going to Subway. I love the cookies.
I don't know.
That's Arnold.
Yeah, that's Arnold, right? That's close, Austrian.
Okay.
Either way, guys. Subway's playing a big game here. Subway is asserting their dominance, I think, in the world of fast food. I mean, they are literally they're spitting in the face of the country that allows them to exist in America, right? America, we are supposed to be supporting Ukraine. That's supposed to be our thing. We give them tons of money, and Subway's like, cool, but those Russians, they dig the sweet onion chicken teriyaki sub. I mean, also, isn't all the grain, we get all the grain from Ukraine, just stop them from making bread. Just halt the orders to Subway for the bread. That's probably their best counterattack at this point. Forget all the actual fighting. Just find a way to manipulate Subway's
Embargoes.
yeah, set an embargo on Subway's bread, on the wheat distribution that gets sent
They'll
to the
just
Subway
make it in a
factories.
Russian lab, and it'll probably taste better.
That's true. It'll have steroids in it. It'll have like PEDs. Russian bread's probably good because they have nothing else in their lives. So they really cherish making a good bread out in the mountains, I would think. Yeah, no, I don't know. I think it's a ballsy move by Subway here, guys. Subway, it's been through the ups and downs, right? Their spokesperson is a horrible, horrible pedophile, or was. At one point, they propped up a vicious pedophile who had an online site with people subscribing to it. We were talking about subscriptions earlier. I mean, again, very dedicated. I watched porn for a long time. Never once, regular porn, normal porn. Never once was I like, I'm going to get a subscription. That's how much I like this.
There's so much free
Yeah.
porn.
Well, that's true too. You probably do have to pay to find the good kid stuff.
Yeah. If it's illegal, you need to pay.
Yeah, probably, right? Yeah.
Should I check?
If the computer just fucking explodes. Yeah, I also wonder, you know how like fast food places, they have different shit in different countries?
Yes.
I wonder if they have any, like, what's Russian food like?
Russian McDonald's.
Russian, like, let's look up Russian Subway menu items. Can we find those? It's just like steel. This is our hardened steel sandwich with fucking Gouda cheese. We don't mind the French anymore. It's let's see if we can find one. Probably not, right? I feel like that's a tough thing. That's a tough ask. Just to find the menu item. Subway Moscow. Okay, Brazil, Russia. What's that? What's sandwich?
Seafood sub. Tuna may be a classic sub topping in the States, but in Russia you can order another mayo-based protein.
Oh, mayo.
This
Mayo-based.
version features thinly chopped crab meat.
Ah, nice crab. This is what's getting them over there. Crab meat sandwich. The crab meat sandwich over in Russia is enough to keep them sustained. When you think about other countries, I mean, we take the hyper customization of things here for granted.
Whoa, look at this Japanese one.
What is that? Shrimp? Shrimp and guacamole, it looks like. Oof.
Shrimp and avocado, yeah.
Yeah, pretty close. Bubba Gump would approve of this combo. Yeah.
Bio the battery.
Yeah, I don't think they'd like Bubba Gump in Japan, though. They're racist. Yeah, so
Barbecue rib sandwich down in Mexico.
in Mexico. That's not far from Texas. That's why. That's got to be bad. The chicken tikka sandwich in the United Kingdom.
The Brits love their Indian food.
Yeah, because they destroyed the Indians. Look at Ireland. Ireland isn't even a fucking sandwich. It's a half a sandwich. It's like a Stouffer's bread fucking pizza. It goes to show, even Ireland, they fuck up food. They can't cook over there. Some people, I talked to somebody, I forgot who it was. They're like, I love Irish food. I'm like, yeah, what is that? What's Irish
Potatoes?
food? Guinness and fucking potatoes, like you said. Yeah, and like 300 years of
Corned beef.
300 years of fighting over slightly different beliefs. That's part of their diet over there. But anyway, yeah, don't support Subway, guys. Boycott Subway because next thing you know, they're gonna keep their businesses. I'm sure they're keeping their business in Israel, right, and Gaza. That's the thing. You can't be, or Palestine. You can't be. This is business, guys. This is big business. This is a global company here, corporation. They're not gonna skimp. They got shareholders. They got a duty to them, and if the Russians are gonna pay for it, then by golly, we're gonna sell them those crab meat fucking sloppy sandwiches. Anyway, supposedly, guys, Kurt Cobain is trans. You guys believe this? Kurt Cobain, trans? Of all people. I mean, yeah, this is the one. Yep, that's the video. I mean, look at that person. They're gorgeous. They're someone that I want to hear information from. So there's this, I guess, thing on TikTok where there's something going around where everyone's saying that Kurt Cobain was transgender. And I haven't watched this whole video, but we're going to talk our way through this while this person speaks. I don't know what qualifications this person has to, what grounds they have, but I guess we can hear it. Let's see.
I bet you didn't know that Kurt Cobain was probably trans.
Yeah,
Here's why.
probably.
First off, Kurt wore a lot of women's clothing. And when asked about this, they replied that they wore dresses all the time because they felt comfortable and free. Just look at Kurt in these pictures. They look so happy. And in an interview about their childhood, Kurt said that they mostly hung out around girls and that at one point,
a bunch of straight guys hanging out with girls.
Many trans people who don't have the vocabulary yet to express their gender identity will describe what they're feeling as being gay. That's exactly what I did in middle school. Kurt is also quoted as saying that they identify more with the feminine than with the
You're right
masculine.
about both, I
This
guess.
is clear proof that Kurt did not identify with the gender they were assigned at birth. And the most convincing evidence that Kurt was trans was in an early version of Nirvana's All Apologies lyrics, where Kurt wrote, "Let me grow some." That is clear-cut gender dysphoria.
Yeah,
of course,
clear-cut.
Kurt will never be able to tell us themselves, but the evidence makes it pretty obvious they were trans. That might be why Kurt's no longer with us. Maybe Kurt knew that we weren't ready.
Yeah. Kurt Cobain killed himself because he thought he was trans and he actually wasn't. Hey, but you know what? Maybe you know why he did some of those things. He did heroin.
Well,
hey,
I actually read his book and he did mention like something about like he grew up worshiping Freddie Mercury.
Sure, who was a guy,
but also wore dresses and stuff like that.
So totally.
Could have been an ode to him.
Right. Yeah. I mean, maybe it is, but he was also on a lot of drugs. I don't know. I mean, rock stars historically have been androgynous.
Dresses.
I think is the word.
Yeah.
Like you look at Mick Jagger when he's young, he's wearing some girly shit and he's dancing like a woman. And I guess in those days, there was no other way to say that, they were just like, yeah, he's a rock star, he dances. But that was way before Kurt Cobain. And I feel like Kurt Cobain was doing it in a different way. He was doing it, I don't know, I feel like he was doing it ironically. Not to say that he didn't feel this way, not to say that maybe parts of him wanted to be, I mean, doesn't everyone every once in a while want to be the other one? be the other gender, or one of the other genders, which however. Sometimes I want to be a toaster. Sometimes I wake up and I'm like, I want to be a Black & Decker drill for the rest of the day. That's what I feel like. I mean, if it's mind-boggling, because we all love rock stars. We love rock stars. We love guys that kill themselves after they do some really cool shit. We all love that. But it's only cool if it works, right? Like if Kurt Cobain did all that stuff, but he was never famous, people would be like, that guy's he's just a drug addict. He's a lunatic on drugs. He's a lunatic on drugs who wears dresses. But because he was famous and he's, a legend, now people can be like, well, he was obviously a girl. Obviously he was ahead of his time. I like how he ends it with that, like that we weren't ready. That's what it was. He was so depressed about us. Nothing in his life. Probably about us. Probably about his fans who are like, oh, I hope he doesn't come out as a girl one day. Is there any Nirvana fan that was ever like, geez, I hope Kurt Cobain doesn't ever become a girl. I hope he doesn't come out and say that he's going to be a woman. Thank God he killed himself, because I heard that he was going to come out and be a woman. Whew. We wouldn't have been ready for that. Who was before? I mean, there was way gayer performers before him. What about David Bowie?
Sure.
That guy was actually gay. Freddie Mercury, like you said.
Yep. Sucking off truck drivers.
What's the other dude? Lou Reed. Lou Reed dated a fucking transgender girl. And they didn't even call him that in those days. They just called him fucking, I don't know, dirty beasts.
Benny Blanco.
What's that?
Benny Blanco.
Who's Benny Blanco? Did we go over that?
He's like a pop producer, but he was way after Kurt Cobain. That was.
Oh, and he's a trans person?
No, he's just weird.
Oh, okay. Same thing, right?
He's in that episode of Dave, the Lil Dicky show on Hulu.
Yeah.
He was like, they had this really gay scene where they were like rolling around acting all gay. Oh, actually, he's dating Selena Gomez, so not gay.
Okay, so not even close. Huh. Well,
all right, that's a surprise. I'll eat those words. I'll take that out.
No, it's fine.
I'll hold that one.
That happens to me all the time. Remember, I was trying to make fun of that really cool place in Nevada the last time?
Yeah.
Area, what was it? Area 51 or 15?
Yeah, Area 15. You thought it was the actual government base, but instead it was a sick museum.
Yeah, I keep seeing that place too, like ads for it. I'm like, God damn it, I'll never forget. I'll never live that down. I guess it is fun to think that maybe Kurt Cobain was a girl. I guess it's a fun thing, or wanted to be a girl, where some of his songs, maybe you could look at him and he's like, "Come As You Are" is actually him talking about wanting to be a girl. Maybe he's like, "Come as you are, chop off my dick. I'll be a girl. My hair's already long. I got a dress. I'm fucking gay." I think that would be that'd be fun, at least. I don't know. That's a new one. That's a new conspiracy. I guess it's a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy. The real conspiracy is, how was the shotgun laid on his chest when he died? That's the real conspiracy. Courtney Love, right? Where's she? Did she want to be a man? How does Courtney Love feel about all this? She would be the one.
You think he had to use his feet?
Probably, yeah. Probably with a shotgun. I would think so. But even still, like, how's it perfectly on his chest? That's how they found him. There was a shotgun laid across his chest. Maybe in that last synapse of his mind, he was just like,
He had a second thought.
Let's really fuck with them.
right after he blew his fucking head off. Yeah. That's what his suicide note said. He's like, I really wish I was a fucking girl. Man, I wish I was a girl. Fuck.
I fucking wish I was a fucking woman. God damn it! Every day I'm not a girl, I want to kill myself, and that's what I'm going to do today.
And he did it. He did it. Well, nonetheless, you guys be the judge. You guys go ahead and think about that. Think about him and how interesting of a person he was, and now add that to it. You know, maybe it's the ultimate sign of evolution if you become trans, you know? Maybe that's peak humanity. If you really think about it. If you're like, I have this meat sack that I'm in. I have this body. And now we've gotten to the point where we've thought of everything else, and we're like, it's time we change this body up a little bit before the AI take over and the machines and all that shit, because that's next. Before that, we still want to play with the biology a little bit. Let's give that guy tits. Let's give that girl a prick. Let's tell him it's all real. And maybe that is peak humanity. Maybe that's why the weirdest people, maybe that's why the natives would ask the hermaphrodites what they believe that they were oracles. The first time the natives beat the American army, the U.S. Army, in a battle was after the tribe asked their group hermaphrodite if they could do it. That's actually a real thing. And the guy was like, or they, whatever, I don't know if they had pronouns in those days. The hermaphrodite person was like, yeah, go ahead, go do it. And then they won, and they beat America. They beat the U.S. Army. So maybe we should listen to these guys a little bit more. Maybe, or these people. Maybe they got something that we don't. People shouldn't be so angry of, I forget the woman, or God damn it. See, this is getting
Sacagawea.
No. The
God damn it.
Say
There was
something.
the Secretary of Defense or something.
Condoleezza Rice.
No, she's a woman. The other one that was trans for a point. I think it was a Secretary of Defense. I forget her name or their name. Maybe we should have kept them. Maybe we should have listened to them a little bit more, and we wouldn't be in this mess. We wouldn't be in this crazy mess where Subway's running amok. Rachel Levine.
Rachel Levine, that's it.
I think that's her name. Can we see the picture?
Biden as assistant health secretary.
Health secretary. Okay, so I was off. But yeah, we should listen to this person, Rachel Levine. Maybe she'll be like, stop fucking with viruses in a factory. Stop fucking with viruses. Stop trying to make them stronger. You shouldn't do that. We're like, no, we should do that. We should see. And they're like, no. Stop it. Remember the last time? And they're like, no, we're going to do it. Look at this. And maybe if we listened, it would be different. Nonetheless, guys, you be the judge. I mean, look at that. Isn't that who you want to go to for advice on anything? That looks like the face. That looks like the face of truth, if you ask me.
Can't even tell if there's an Adam apple in there.
That's yeah. Maybe they add that in. They're like, we can't get rid of the Adam apple, but we'll give you a double chin so you can't see it. This is America right here, guys. This is that person right there that we just saw. Rachel Levine is modern day America. How far we've fallen.
Peak male performance.
From Eisenhower.
Or she-male performance.
Peak she-male performance. Yeah.
Is she-male not politically correct?
Well, they say it in porn. Like in the porn names, sometimes you're scrolling and it's like, whoa, she-male.
So is it its own category?
I think it must be. Yeah, I don't know if it's politically, because porn, I mean, historically, porn isn't necessarily politically correct either. So they kind of say whatever they want, you know. Yeah. It's good. It's all good. Kurt Cobain's probably, he's dead. That's the thing, is he's dead, and
yeah, we can't ask him.
And his woman's soul is up in heaven being a lady. Well, no, they don't go to heaven when you kill yourself, right? He's in hell. His woman's soul.
Or if you're trans.
That's true. Yeah. Good point.
Anyway, in other news, before we bring this video up, it's about Trump. All right, we're just gonna say it's about Trump, and he is continue. This is the biggest attack, and obviously I haven't been alive to see very many presidents do anything, or any public figures really get attacked or anything like that. This is something that's pretty crazy. The fact that he's under indictment all over the place. One of them being this woman. I forget her name already. Can we escape this just so I can find her name? Jean Carroll. This woman, Jean Carroll, is accusing him of doing sexually, let's say, sexual misconduct. I don't know exactly what it is, and obviously he's in court fighting it. He won the Iowa caucus the other day. Do you guys understand this? It's almost like the more shit that comes out about this guy, people are like, get him in, right? Like the Iowa caucus. I don't know much about any of that shit. I really don't, and I'm kind of just regurgitating some shit that I already saw in terms of when I talk about this. It's supposedly the deciding vote. Not the deciding vote, but it makes a big difference. Like, it's a huge vote. And he won by like a land, like he killed it, the Iowa caucus. All the reps want him to be the Republican candidate. Everybody wants to see him do it. He won this the other day. There's states trying to get him taken off of a ballot. That just says to the rest of the states, like, okay, the rest of us like him. Like, this guy is fantastic. No matter what they throw at him, they're like, oh, well, he incited an insurrection. People are like, yeah. Now he's under an indictment for maybe raping a woman or sexually assaulting a woman. People are like, fuck yeah, let's go. Again, and maybe he's not a saint. He's definitely not a saint. Nobody in that position is a saint. Maybe he did do it, but the way this lady talks about it isn't very convincing. 51% of the votes he got. People still fucking like him. They don't give a shit. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. If someone said, hey, this guy that people are coming out and saying he raped them, and he extorted some people, and he incited an insurrection at the Capitol, he's running for president. People would be like, oh my God, that guy's a lunatic. Get him behind bars. But they know that it's Trump. And they're like, that's all make-believe. That's bullshit. However, this lady, the way she talks about it, Jean Carroll, who I think is a journalist, doesn't sound very, convincing. And this is just a small clip from Anderson Cooper on CNN. Yeah, it says, press Trump on his most recent accuser. It never happened. She's not my type. For sure he said that. For sure he said that. Probably in the courtroom. All right, let's listen. This is what she had to say about...
You don't feel like a victim.
I was not thrown on the ground and ravished. Which, the word rape carries so many sexual connotations. This was not sexual. It hurt.
But I think most people think of rape it is a violent assault. It is not.
I think most people think of rape as being sexy.
Let's take a short break.
Think of the fantasies.
Yeah.
We're just going to take a quick break.
He's got no clue what to say. Look what she said.
You're fascinating to talk to.
She ends it with that. Look at that
You don't
woman.
feel like a victim.
I was not thrown on the
That
ground
lady's
and
a
ravished.
loon. I mean, she said, here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. She's not wrong. She's not that far off. Okay? She's not that far off. She said that... Oh, shit. Don't drop nothing. This woman just said that people look at it as sexy. Rape, people look at as sexy, okay? And I know some of y'all are at home. You're sitting around the kitchen table with your family listening to this, because I know that's what a lot of you do. A lot of you sit down with the family, and it's like the 30s all over again. People sit around the table and listen to the Lone Ranger, but instead it's this show. And I know you're all looking at each other like, Antonio, Where are you going with this? Nobody fantasizes about rape. What are you talking about? We've been talking a lot about porn in this whole a lot about porn in this episode. All right. Ask anybody what kind of porn they like to watch. They're not going to say they like, I like when they kiss. I like when they neck each other. No. People want to watch a woman get demolished. People want to watch a woman get plugged up in every hole that she's got for fucking a long time. You look at some videos, they're 30 minutes, 40 minutes of a nonstop, just fucking a big beast of a man just heaving over a fucking small woman, beating her to death with his dick. And everybody watches porn. Girls watch porn now too. So there's women rubbing it out to those, and there's guys are doing it. So she's not entirely wrong. What about when we watch Law and Order, and there's a fucking a rape. There's a rapist on the loose, and they make him a hot guy. They make him attractive. Look at this guy. You wouldn't mind being raped by him, would you? Was it really rape if it was this guy? People are, when Ted Bundy was out hitting the streets, when he was on the clock, getting after it, the women thought he looked fucking great after the fact. I remember when the documentary came out on Netflix, and women were on Twitter like, oh shit, I probably would have been one of them. I would have been one of them girls. I would have gotten taken out by him. He looked good. She's not entirely wrong. The problem is the person that's being accused of rape is going to be the president. That's the thing. That's the thing that people don't like, is the person that's being accused of potentially raping multiple people all the time. He's always being accused of these things. He could be the president. That's why people are scared. But when you think about it, it's really the least of a president's problems. Every day a president has to make a decision on whether or not to bomb someplace. Maybe not every day, but often.
Probably every day.
There's some blood on their hands, guys. I mean, if Trump, let's just say for all arguments here, let's say Trump did do this. Okay? And then he still became president after that. He's going to do a lot worse. You're going to see at the end of his presidency that you're going to be like, wow, thank God he raped that woman beforehand. Good thing he did that beforehand to kind of like ride us into what happens next. And that's with any president. That's if any president was caught before being a president, that they were caught with sexual misconduct, rape, whatever, that is the least of the problems that are going to come forward. That guy is going to, the blood that the hands on that guy are going to have is it's exponentially worse than that. Now, don't get me wrong. This woman here, it's a horrible thing if it happens to any woman. But for her to say what she said just then, it doesn't sound, I don't know. I mean, she did, it was uncomfortable when she said that it hurt, right? And we have no prior context. Did it hurt physically, or was he emotionally mean to her did he make a comment that she's very self-conscious about? Did he call her a gobbleneck because she's old? Maybe she's got some skin and that hurt. That wasn't very nice that he said to me. Or was it his presidential cock being flinging around, hitting her in the face? Maybe that's what it was. Nonetheless, I don't think she's very far off, guys. I don't think she's far. We love a hot person that does horrible shit. We really do. We love an attractive person that does something horrible. If Trump looked better, if he was a silver fox with just some gray in his hair, if he was younger, people may not think anything of it. I don't know if anybody thinks anything of it right now. All I know is that Donald Trump is either going to be in jail or he's going to be the president, if I had to guess. If I had to guess, he's going to win the Republican vote for sure. It's, and it's going to be in spite of all this stuff. None of this is going to matter. It's going to be like when Conor McGregor comes back and he knocks out whoever he fights. Maybe Michael Chandler. It's supposed to be Chandler. Nobody knows.
At 205.
Yeah, at heavyweight. It's going to be like that because it's just literally all the bad stuff bouncing off their shoulders. We talked about the thing with Conor months ago when he went in the bathroom with that girl, and now nobody knows. Nobody gives a fuck about it anymore. Yeah. Nobody cares. So he is, and he's still the best. Everyone wants to watch him again. They're the same person. They're the same person. They're the best on the mic. Even when they lose, they win. Stuff rolls. I mean, they're obviously both rich as fuck. Conor wants to.
So no one wants to debate Trump because
nobody
he just fucking roasts you.
Yeah, they'll be like, "Well, you raped a woman," and he's like, you're ugly.
Especially like DeSantis, he's like the dorkiest guy ever. So once people hear him actually speak, they're like, "Oh, this is who we're voting for."
Yeah, nobody wants to hear that. I know. Agreed. He's a bit of he is dweeby. Yeah, so Trump's going to win. Trump's going to win. It doesn't matter. It's over. It's over. Oh, wait a second. What is this? Oh, this is nothing. Nothing important. I had a Hinge notification.
It's probably a dude.
I don't pay attention on dating apps. I know you have a lady, so this doesn't necessarily pertain to you. But when I'm on dating apps, I literally pay no attention. I swipe right on every person, every single person. I pay no attention, and I end up matching, anybody, dudes, trans people.
You can't set filters for what you actually.
Oh yeah, you can.
Oh, I just don't.
I don't. Yeah. I just like this. I just like the satisfaction of matching with somebody and then just unmatching. But here's the thing: like, I don't. The one setting I do have is to only get girls, but for some people squeak by that where they just identify. It could be a guy that is gender's a girl,
as a girl, yeah.
And that happens. Yeah, that's pretty much the dating apps. Not to talk about the apps, right? That's all. The thing that I hate the most when I go do stand-up is when somebody comes on stage and the first thing they say is, "You guys on the apps?" Like, I want to grab a gun and shoot them realistically because everybody...
They refer to it as the apps?
The apps, yeah, the dating. They're like, "Guys on the apps, the dating apps." I hate jokes about that because they all go in the same direction and they're all really annoying. So that's where that conversation ends right now. No, the one app I've been messing a little bit around with is Field. Field's, but it's spelt like field.
Oh, it's for furries?
Yeah, furred. No, Field is it's for whores actually. It's for it's like a, I don't know, it's like I guess you would call it a sex forward dating app. Like, people just go on there literally to hook up. It was like how dating apps started. And now people meet the love of their life on dating apps, and it's like a whole thing. But yeah, Field is the one where if you want to be a whore, you go on there. And that's a different one. That's the one that I've just started messing around in. And also, pay no attention. Just keep swiping. Keep
So
swiping.
you're inviting dudes over?
50-year-old paraplegic.
You up?
Yeah. Yeah. There's something satisfying about just matching with someone in a sea of shit, and then you're like, well, I don't actually like this person. That's nice. That's the power you get. That's modern. That's dating. Modern now. Oh, dude, I feel like I have to talk about this since we're talking about dating and shit. I fumbled a 11 out of 10 the other night. Bad. So bad, dude. I'm still thinking about it. That's how bad.
Did you actually, or you just think you did?
No, I did.
Because there's always those moments.
Wait, what do you mean I think? Like I thought I was doing better than I actually was?
Yeah.
No, dude. I mean, You know what it was? I was in a club. What night was it? Was it Saturday? Friday. No, Saturday night. No, who gives a fuck? It was one of those nights. It was a while from now. That's the point. That's why I'm still, because I'm still thinking about it. I was at a Latin club. We had talked about this. White guys, remember, learn how to dance. And there was this banging, like the most gorgeous girl that I've ever had the balls to go and speak to. And I hadn't spoken to her yet, but some other girl that knew neither of us, but knew something that I didn't, was like, hey, you should go talk to her. And I was like, okay. So I went up to her, and with like no qualms. Like normally I'd be like, like,
Which one is the bathroom?
yeah. Because this girl was like a fucking model. And I went and I spoke to her, and I asked her to dance, and I made her laugh, and I got her name. We talked a little bit, and she was clumpy. So it was like the ball was rolling, and but it was almost like when you haven't played basketball in a long time and you hit a 3-pointer, like a 30-footer, and you're like, but the play's still happening. Like they're going, like, like you're staring at your work. And I was in shock, and I, long story short, I lost her, and all I got was her name. No Instagram, no number.
I could probably help you find her.
You think so?
Yeah. I'm pretty good at that stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Maybe not now. Maybe not on the air. We shouldn't try to find this.
We shouldn't try to find this woman on the air. But she, that's a killer. That is I'm still thinking about her. Every day. Every day I'm thinking about this woman. Where is she? What is she doing right now?
Hopefully listening to this smoking Simian. She just fucking somehow finds out
My
about
friends
it.
and I had one of those too. It was like a really, really hot bartender. And I'll tell it off the air, actually.
Don't incriminate yourself.
Yeah, right. Anyway, what the fuck? What else do we have? I feel like we got.
You have this photo, and I think there's one more article.
What was the other? Oh, it was about the moon. I don't give a fuck about the moon. Yeah, I guess we could talk about this football game. Let's talk about the old football game. It was really cold. It was -4 degrees. Cold, fourth coldest game in the NFL, and people were going to the hospital. 7 people for hypothermia, 3 for frostbite, and 5 for various other medical issues. Probably drugs. Probably people passing out on drugs. There's probably a few people at every game that they got to account for that are going to go to the hospital from drinking too much. I love sporting events. I do. I like sporting events. I like going to them. I don't follow sports like I once did. But -4 degrees to do anything. I'm not entirely interested. There's got to be something. -4 degrees to watch people my age who are bigger, stronger, faster, and better than me in life. Millionaires. They're millionaires, and I'm going to watch them smash into each other for more money. What is this? Oh, this is the game?
This was the coach of the Chiefs, Andy Reid. His mustache,
Oh, his mustache
froze, and it was literally icicles hanging from it. That's how cold it was.
God. Hey.
So I think most of that's boogers, but
yeah, right? That is disgusting.
it's just frozen icicles on his face.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, what else would it be? I mean, I guess drinking water.
Yeah, maybe.
Some water.
Could be a sip of water and from the little squirt bottle, and it goes over and freezes instantly.
Hey, I mean, considering what these guys get paid, this isn't bad. But the fact that people pay to go to that, those are the same people. I'm going to say this: the same people that line up on Black Friday outside of Target, waiting to get a Chiefs blanket for their fucking kid. on for Christmas. It's the same thing. This is why we bomb Yemen. This is why we fund wars all over the world, is so that our finest citizens can shuffle into their massive gas guzzling carbon emission vehicles and fill it up with tons of stuff. Tons of shit. And this is people throwing snow at the Buffalo game, right? I saw this.
This is also on.
This was
on
really
topic
cool.
of just launching snow everywhere.
That was actually kind of cool.
After every, was this even this year?
A Saturday Showdown. Oh yeah, this might not have been this year. Because the game we're talking about was Miami and Kansas City.
Yeah.
Buffalo played. Who did they play?
This was the other day. This was.
I forgot who Buffalo played recently. I don't think it was this.
It was just. It was Monday.
Was
they
it
played,
Pittsburgh?
Yeah, they played Pittsburgh.
Yeah. And,
But it was just like this. They were just throwing snow everywhere.
right. Yeah, that's cool. Bills fans are supposed to be sickos, right? They go through tables and shit.
Yeah, their tailgates are next level.
Yeah.
They're jumping through tables. There's one guy who like cooks pizza in a filing cabinet.
Oh. That's Buffalo, baby.
They play Shout, the song. They can make you wanna shout.
Oh, yeah, and they
Hands
just
up
bug
and
out.
shout. They play that on loop for like
Hours.
5 hours probably.
Yeah. That's our finest right
It's like
there,
their
people. That's our finest. That's the best. That's some of the best times of our lives here in America. It really is. It being absolutely dog shit
There's
hammered.
some places that you say like, oh, that's a sports city,
Yeah.
or Buffalo is like a drinking city with a sports problem.
Wow. Okay, that makes sense.
Sometimes like like with Chicago, like that's a sports city with a drinking problem.
Boston, probably a similar. Yeah.
Buffalo,
Drinking problem.
drinking city with a sports
With a
problem.
sports problem. That's right. Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, to be a fan out there, you got to be fucking devoted. You have to be very devoted. And apparently in Kansas City as well. That is, but it is fun. It's fun to be so shit hammered that you jump through tables, and then that's the beginning. What else do we do where that's the beginning? Right? I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess.
Some of them may not even have tickets to the game. They just go and they fucking jump through a table.
Yeah. I guess we've invented the pregame here. That's like the ultimate version of a pregame. Like when I talk about pregame, I mean you and your buddies are going out and you're like, let's drink at home first to save money. The tailgate has got to be the biggest version of the pregame. Like one of the premier versions of that, I would say. But you don't get, I mean, it's one of the few times where you get really wild before you go and do the thing. Maybe weddings or like
Also,
cocktail
you call
hour.
that a pregame also.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I just don't know if they get any wilder than a tailgate. Like I've tailgated just a handful of
Specifically
times.
a football tailgate.
Football, yeah, for sure. Like, do they do soccer? Like in other countries, do they tailgate before? Or are they just like they're very proper? They wear hats and they just. Oh, I'm thinking of England. We're going to the. Let's go to the pitch.
They probably wait in the pub.
Yeah, they hang out in the
Beforehand.
pub. They drink more than us, I think, in those countries.
Yeah.
They fucking love drinking because their food sucks. So they fucking yeah.
It's that and fish and chips.
And we have so many other cool drugs that the doctor gives us. We get cool drugs that we get to have commercials for. Yeah, we football is something Shane Gillis was right when he said football is above racism in this country. Racism is big. We partake in that a lot here. Don't get me wrong, but football, it's true. If you want to get rights, like Shane Gillis said, you got to put together a good football club. Run it down your nose football club, like he said. It's the truth, and it's one of the most marvelous spectacles in the world Because I remember going to other countries and they asked me about the Super Bowl. Like, we love the Super Bowl. Like, they don't watch football, but they'll watch the Super Bowl because it's fucking mayhem. It's fucking, and what's crazy is they have, soccer games get wild. Like, at the Arrowhead Stadium when the Manchester City? I think it's Manchester City.
United?
Whichever one, the bigger one. I think it's Man City. They're like the Yankees of soccer. They just buy their team. But that stadium gets fucking bananas too. But those guys, they're not as violent. They don't run into each other.
Oh, is there Etihad Stadium and Etihad Arena?
Yeah, I think the arena is in Dubai.
Manchester Stadium.
Yeah, I think it's Man City.
Manchester City Premier League club.
Precisely. Those games get fucking wild too. But again, it's not. We figured out entertainment here in America. We really did. They're like the biggest sport in the world is definitely soccer, but we're like, hold on. We got an idea.
I may go to this year the Preakness. That's one of the stages of the
Triple
Crown of the horse racing.
Hell yeah.
And as far as like tailgating and partying, it's one of the biggest events in any event possible.
Oh, hell yeah.
Because it's just like a big giant field with drunk college kids, and it's like 150,000 people.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, the Derby too. The Kentucky Derby's fucking wild.
Yeah, but that's like prissy people. This is all like people our age getting fucking blitzed.
Getting hammered. Yeah. I think Belmont is like that as well. Belmont's in New York. Where's Preakness? Preakness is Philly, right?
Preakness is Maryland. It's like outside of Baltimore.
Gotcha. Yeah. I recently read Hunter S. Thompson's article on the Kentucky Derby. It was really good. He just said it's a place of lunacy, obviously. But yeah, the Preakness. That was when I used to work at Mohegan Sun. That was one of the busier days because people want to bet horses and shit.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a picture of just like how many people it is, but it's just pictures of horses.
Yeah, turn them all to glue. Yeah, horse betting is a fun one too. It's a bunch of old guys with pieces of paper just circling shit. Yeah, it's nuts.
I got the 4-horse.
You feel like a real old school gambler when you do it that way. Well, guys, hey, I think we've made it to the end. I think it's time we depart, and we talk to y'all next week. Yeah, that's it. I ain't got nothing else to say. Fuck it. Peace.